It has been called Hollywood's favorite detox. Movie stars, supermodels, athletes, and more have tried this 4-week body transforming plan to help their body, mind, and spirit feel better and look better. Of course, I wanted to learn more about how it works and maybe even some of the familiar names it has worked for. Hello and welcome to this edition of Be Healthy, Be Youthful. I'm Sandra Gumansing, and today we're going to shake things up. We're going to talk about a health routine that's a little bit different. I'm joined by my friend here, Tracy Piper. She's not just my friend, she's a health and wellness expert. I turn to her for a lot of information, and she's home. I say home, we'll get into that because she's from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and she's the owner of the Piper Center for Wellness in New York, and the author of the book, The Piper Protocol, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Tracy, welcome.
Thank you, Sandra.
Tell us a little bit about your health and wellness journey and how the book came about.
So I was born here in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, and I grew up in Tortola. So I am both a BVI and a USVI girl. I grew up with my grandmother, who really got me into learning about herbs. Went to school here, Idorican, and then I went to UVI, University of the Virgin Islands. I got my formal training there, and then I moved on to New York, where I studied massage and acupuncture and colonics and a whole array of other things that I put together, as we say in the Caribbean, as a kalaloo. So in the Caribbean, a kalaloo is a mixture of everything, and I made that mixture my own recipe.
So how did the Piper Protocol come about?
The book came about because I was trying to help myself, and I was having some issues with my health, stepping back from childhood, not knowing what was going on with myself, and then getting into the health field. I actually was working with a young lady, a client of mine, Rachel, and she wrote on Facebook how I helped her. And a writing agent, a book agent, read it and contacted me when I was actually on my way to London for my aunt's funeral, and I was like, he's just joking, he's not serious, But then when I came back, there was a long email, and it just started from there. So I eventually wanted to write my own book later on in life, but it was presented to me, and I am so grateful for Alex for seeing the dream I had of myself and bringing it to fruition. The Piper Protocol for Internal Wellness, I know it talks about weight loss and internal fitness, but for me it's really about internal fitness, and it's basically for you to find your own beat. Sometimes we get caught up on trends and doing what the masses are doing and not understanding what works for our body, for our individual selves. And so this book allows you to do it on your time, your rhythm, and what works for your biological makeup.
Can you elaborate on some of the key principles, the strategies outlined in the book?
Yes. Week one, we're basically, sometimes people know a lot about, eating healthy, and sometimes they think they know and they don't know. But we don't really want people to start where they're at. So the first week is about 50-50. And so that is like just cutting out junk food, the fast food, processed food. The week two, get more veggies into your diet, more soluble fiber, so that you can start feeding the good bacteria, feeling yourself more full. Your fiber really helps to pull a lot of toxins out of your system. So doing that, I'm mixing that with 20% meat. So if you're a meat eater of blood type O or blood type B, because I really believe in the blood type diet, that would be week two would be great for you. If you're a vegetarian, you have a blood type A, then the third week would be more for you. So you'd have 80% veggies and 20% complex carbs. And then week four is my liquid feast. And that's where you just kind of give your digestive system a break and allow it to just get everything inside of it that is pre-digested. And that's how I started doing my retreats, on getting people to do week four. Basically for a whole 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days.
Now, in the book, you mentioned the role of nutrition, and tell us how that contributes to overall health and vitality.
Nutrition is key, because our gut is the forefront. When we are conceived, we have an egg and a sperm, and they come together, and then they elongate into the brain and the gut. So you can see how they come together. They're both started at the same time. We have the head, and then we have our gut. So when you're out there, you hear you have that gut feeling, you have a gut feeling, or you might see a guy that you like and you feel like butterflies in your stomach. So you feel in your gut first, and then your heart skips a beat, and then your head goes, I think I like that guy. So I look at how the gut is the beginning, and so the nutrition goes in there and feed that, and that also feeds your brain, because again, as it comes from this way, you have the gut and the brain connected through the vagus nerve, which is the 10th cranial nerve. So they work very, very well together. It's a mind-body connection that way.
And you mentioned the importance of detoxification in the book. What are some practical tips or methods for detoxing the body that readers can implement?
Well, when you talk about nutrition first, if you are clogged up, things aren't moving, stagnation, think of like a lagoon, a pond, and things aren't moving. You can put as much good nutrition as you want in there, but it's not going to do anything for your body, because you're starting from a rocky foundation, a dirty foundation. So detoxification must come first. Open up the door, clean out the system, so the nutrition that you put in can actually go in there and start nourishing and feeding the cells and feeding the tissues. And the cells are like, yes, feed me. We have trillions of cells. And so now they can start and doing what they're supposed to do. Because remember, we're electrical beings. And if we don't have enough electricity in our foods, or more living foods, raw foods, to get the electricity in there, we're just going to just go, So the detoxification and nutrition go hand in hand.
How does the Piper Protocol differ from other books on the market? What makes it unique?
What makes the Piper Protocol unique is that you have 4 different books in one. When I say that, I mean, if you are a raw foodist, there's a whole chapter for you. There's a whole section for you there. If you're a vegan, there's a whole section for you. If you're a carnivore, you can also get stuff from this book. And if you just want to dabble in like figuring out what works for you, it's in here. So you choose what works for your body. So you don't have to buy a book on veganism. You don't have to buy a book on a meat or carnivore or a raw food book. You can get all of it right here in one shot.
It's a perfect way to transition if you want to move from one to the other.
Absolutely.
Right? So,
you can use this as a jump off and then say, hey, I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian. Okay, now I want to go and get a book that's all about that, and that works for me. Sort of buying books and it doesn't work for you, and then you end up putting it on your shelf and you don't really read it or use it.
Can you share any personal, maybe anecdotes or experiences that influenced the development of this book?
Yes, all my clients. Being a colon therapist, I don't really like saying I'm a colon therapist, because I'm also a massage therapist and acupuncturist. So that's where I came up with internal fitness practitioner and putting that all together. So listening to my clients, seeing what works for them, and also for myself. Like I was a raw foodist and I was a vegetarian, and I realized that I feel so much more better when I follow my blood type diet. And everything changed according to my blood analysis when I followed my blood type diet rather than just doing along with the trends. So yes, I was not following my own advice by not doing the trends. I did the trends and realized it wasn't working for me. So I'm now doing week 2 in my book.
Okay. What is the message you're hoping that people will get from the book?
What I would really love for them to get is there's so much things that you can do daily to help yourself. It does not have to be a big hoop to do. Just making 1 or 2 changes and really, again, not getting caught up on like what everybody else is doing, and listen to your body. And the book really helps you to choose a week that you can basically experiment for yourself on what works for you.
Are there any specific case studies or success stories featured in the Piper Protocol that you'd like to mention or highlight?
Success stories, skin, having a young lady who's very famous now on Instagram. I used to call her Pizza Face. You can check out that YouTube video that we did together, Hannah. And so now she's known for the most beautiful skin. And she's like a health and wellness expert. She wrote a book as well. I also have an amazing friend and supermodel, Kate Upton.
Kate Upton.
Yes, that's my baby.
Oh.
I call her my baby. She wrote something on the back of my book too. But just watching her blossom into this amazing person, and her belief in internal fitness, from what you eat, exercise, like acupuncture, just really putting the whole thing together. And then also from just lay people who come to me for constipation because they're not going to the bathroom, and it's not just a physical situation, but also it's an emotional thing. So they're stuck because they're not going through something, they're not releasing something emotionally. We hold a lot of emotions in our gut, and so that can also be a part of why we're constipated.
What advice do you have for readers who are looking to incorporate the Piper protocol?
Be patient with yourself. That's important. And just take one step at a time. You just and listen to your body, not what everybody is saying, not even what I say. Listen to your body and what you're feeling, and go with that first. Exercise is important. It goes hand in hand, because if you don't use it, you lose it. And also the lymphatic system, we have to move. The lymphatic system doesn't have any valves. It doesn't that pumps the blood, or pumps the way the blood is pumped with the valves. The lymphatic system doesn't have that. So it only moves when we move and we do our exercise. So exercise, get those muscles working, get that lactic acid out, build up the muscles so we can get electricity, because that's another way we lose electricity. When we do not exercise, we're not allowing that electrical pulses, those muscles, to do their thing. So
Thank you so much for all the information, and thank you for joining us. There is a link in the description to contact Tracy if you want further information, and we will see you in the next video.
yes, guys.